as we go on through life, it seems like we outgrow our current lifestyle, whether it's what we're used to or what we're doing right now. We seem to outgrow it, and it just seems mundane. That's the best way I can put it. It seems mundane. And that's how it feels a lot of the time when you set a new standard for yourself or you are no longer the same as you once were. It seems like the things you used to do, the old habits you used to do, the time you spend, and the people even at times, it seems like we can't be around that no more. Or it's like we don't enjoy the same things. I don't enjoy the same things, and it's like I can't continue to do that. I mean, it comes with whatever it comes with. Letting go of the past, letting go of what once was, because what I once did will no longer take me to where I want to go. Who I once was will no longer serve me in who I want to be or where I want to go. Because in every new level of life, every new aspect of continuously growing, it's change. And change is constant. Change is the only guarantee. Because, on one level, it's like life around us just continues to change, and it changes faster than ever now. You look at history, you look at the progression of human civilizations, it's changing. It's always been changing, but more now than ever. It's fast. 30 years ago, you probably would not imagine being able to FaceTime someone, but now it's like, it seems so ordinary. 10 years ago, you wouldn't imagine just being able to, just FaceTime even. Because actually, that probably was wrong. But even so, it's like so many new inventions, and the amount of growth that we have done as a civilization, as a unit, as a collective is amazing. So it's like, you see all this changing. You see, whether it's your city, you see just technology, whether you see people grow up. It's like, all this is changing, but you say you can't change, like, that doesn't apply. Currently, it really doesn't apply. It's just that you're not allowing yourself to change. Or even so, you are changing, but you aren't realizing it. Because a lot of the times it's like, you are always with yourself, so any changes, it just seems to happen over a course of months or however long. And you don't realize it until it's like someone can point it out, someone points it out. And back to the whole issue at hand, when you are becoming, when you are trying to achieve something new, and this is currently happening with me too, it's like, if I was to do the same things I used to do, or live the same old life as I once have, it's frustrating. That's the word I can come up with. For me personally, it's frustrating. For other people, they may get angry, they may get upset, they may feel infuriated. Whatever feeling that comes with it, it's no longer where you want to be. It's no longer where you want to be, and that's how it is for me. If I was to do the same old things, if I was to try and step back into that cave, I would feel frustrated with myself, knowing this isn't where I'm at. This isn't the life I expected for myself. This isn't where I want to be. And now I'm holding myself back, and it's like, I can't allow that to happen. I quite literally can't allow it to happen. And it's so crazy, the amount of momentum you build up when you stop hesitating and you start doing, you start going, you start allowing yourself to grow and change. You see, you just do. You literally just do. And we may spend most of our time just hesitating, because the action in itself is where we get the most change, the most progress. Because of course there's a planning and preparation. Of course there's that. But at some point it has to be taken into action. You have to test out your theory, your idea, your plan, and if it doesn't go right, And if it doesn't go right, that's okay. Just revise and try again. And revise and try again. And revise and try again until you get it right. Until you get it right. Or even if you get it right the first time, how do you make it better? How do you make it better? What is better? And you have to ask yourself that. What is better? And if we're talking on a life, what is a better life? What is a better life? What is a life worth living? And just allowing yourself to grow into a new you. It's like you can't carry the same old habits, thoughts, and perspectives. It weighs you down. It really weighs you down, and it holds you back from a new area in life. It really holds you back. You can't carry that into a new you. You can't. Because it's baggage. It's extra baggage that it is not necessary. It is not wanted in your new life. So you may have to drop some things off. You may have to leave some stuff in the past. And it's like, it may be hard because we may be attached to it. Because it's what we know, It's what we know, and we are comfortable with what we know. And it can be hard to change because it's like, I'm comfortable. Why would I want to put myself out there when it's uncomfortable? We may be embarrassed, we may be scared, we may feel shame. We may feel embarrassment, we may, not want to be judged and criticized and whatever feelings that come with it. You may not want that because it doesn't feel good. It may not feel good to you. And it's like, at some point, you have to say, of course, whatever they say it. And a lot of times what I realize is like, if you're trying something new, if you're trying to better yourself, who would judge you? Who in their right mind would judge and hate you? No one, because out of my own life, I've improved myself, if we want to say it like that. I've put myself out there, put myself in new circumstances, situations, and there's never been an ounce of hate. It's okay, good for you. Do your thing, like, go crazy. It's only been positivity. And even if there was a circumstance in which they were being negative, or they said something bad, or why are you doing that, like that's weird, or this and that, it's like, you got a lesson right there. You don't need that person. Sad to say, you don't need that person. They are holding you back. They are detrimental to your plan, because it's either they're helping you on the way or they're in the way. And their own attitude and actions will determine that, And even so, and I'm just saying that if, you want them in on the plan, because sometimes it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what people think. You don't have to let them know. You can just do it. But this all came about because I was working, right? And I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do this. It's like, I don't envision myself being here for forever, for a long time. I don't. It's just for the moment, until something better comes along, until other things come along and I continue to act upon them, because that's just the way it is right now for me personally. And there was that dissatisfaction. There was that dissatisfaction in the fact that, it is what it is right now. But I'd be so dissatisfied if I allowed myself to stay there and grow into that comfort. And just the thought of it made me uncomfortable. That thought of it made me frustrated. Like, I don't want to be here forever, because I want so much for myself. I want so much for myself. So just even the idea of staying there for a prolonged time, it was like, it frustrated me. I won't lie. It frustrated me. And it's like, well, I'm not gonna stay here forever, so it's like, what's the point of thinking it? But it's just to remind myself, like, hey, stay on track. Stay on track. Stay in your own lane. Stay on track. Head up, shoulder back, and just live life to the fullest and enjoy it. One day at a time, living life in the present, in the now. And I guess a lot of it comes with just allowing yourself to grow and change, because I feel as if a lot of us are just closed off because of bad experiences, bad, things that have happened to us, whether it's just people, relationships, just things that happen to us, just accidents, or whether it was on purpose. But things happen to us, and they can hurt. They can leave a scar, they can leave a wound, which is like we cling on to it. It's like we keep reminding ourselves of that pain, when in reality it's like, sure, it'll never not happen. It'll always be there. It'll always be there. Who knows when it'll not hurt? Of course, it hurts. But it's like, in a sense, you have to let it go, where it's like, that happened, but it's like, I don't want to be held back by that. I don't want to be bound to it. It'll always be there. It'll always be there. I can't deny it never not happened, but I can't allow myself to stay there, And whether you forgive or don't forgive, that's up to you. I'm just saying, I don't want to be associated with that energy. I don't want to be associated with that thought or that experience no more. But it'll always be there. It'll always be there, And I got sidetracked, I won't lie. I did get sidetracked. But it's like, I don't know, I feel like I tend to get sidetracked a lot, But that's just where my mind takes me, and it always takes me to wherever it does. And, even on an aspect of relationships, leaving all the relationships behind, in the aspect, it's like, sure, you may have loved that person dearly, or, you may have cared for that person and they did you wrong, or even if they didn't, it's like, leave it be. That's just my philosophy, my own thoughts about it. It didn't work out for a reason. And of course, I do believe there's a possibility of a second chance, but if they're the ones who ended it off, if they're the ones who ended things off, it's like, I'm gonna just leave it, because why am I the one trying to go for it when it's like, it wasn't even on my terms where I ended it. And it's like, sure, who knows if they have grown for a person, who knows if they've grown as a person, that's what I meant. But it's like, why just be stuck on that? And that's the thing. It's like, I've also seen with friends, it's like, they'll get their heart broken and they just linger onto that feeling. They'll linger onto that person. They'll cling onto that person. And it's like, I can't do anything for them but say, hey, you just gotta move on. And of course, they're not gonna take that advice. They don't want to. They want that feeling. They want that person. And it's like, it hurts to see. It really hurts to see when I know there's the obvious fact that there's obviously more people out in the world that they can, meet and interact with, but they're so attached to that person and that feeling that they gave them. It's like, yeah, you may never feel that same sort of feeling, or you may never meet that same sort of person again. There's only them. It's them. There's only one them. But why are you blocking yourself from other experiences from different people and feeling different feelings you may have never felt? And it's that sort of attachment to the past, and just everything. Once worked may not work in the future. What once was may never work again. And it's just constant adapting. As it gets me thinking. Every single life we live, every single experience we have, grows us and shapes us to a new person, a new version of ourselves. We are constantly experiencing, we are constantly creating ourselves. We're constantly creating ourselves. And you know the old saying, a man may step in a river, or how does it go? A man steps in a river, but he is never the same person, and the river is never the same, or something like that. But essentially, it's like everything is constant change, constant growing, and constant moving. We're constantly flowing. And now I butchered the statement, but the idea is the fact that we are never the same person, whether it was a minute ago or 5 minutes in the future. We are never the same person, and life is a constant flow. We'll constantly grow and change and evolve, and it's allowing yourself to grow, change, and evolve with it. But I want to leave it off there. I feel as if there was so much on my mind when it first popped in my head, but now it's like, you know, it's kind of everywhere. It's everywhere. That's literally what it is. And it's like outgrowing your old life, because stepping into a new life, you can't live into that old life. You can't live that same experience. You can't hold on to those same sort of things, whether it's habits, attitudes, thoughts, you know, your own view and perspective on life. You can't cling on to it. And I guess that's where we hold ourselves back, is that attachment. It's really that attachment, because it gives a sense of whether it's comfort or, you know, security. But when in reality is, you know, nothing is ever safe. Nothing is ever truly safe. And I guess that's the illusion, and a whole nother video for another day. I feel as if I've talked for quite a while. And just final thoughts, I decided, to change the channel name. So it once was Sleep Knocks, as I'll be honest, I don't know where it originally started from. I don't know how that name came into my brain, Sleep Knocks. But it started off as, my gamer tag for my gaming. I don't know how I got the name though. It just popped in my head. I'm like, oh, that's kind of fire. Okay. But now it's like, I just want to keep it as my name, just Carlos, and just leave it as that. Who knows where it all takes us? We could come back to the name, we could come back to that for a separate thing or something like that. But just for now, I just want to change the direction and change the whole, idea about just make everything one, But with that being said, love you forever and always. See ya.